Norman police investigate a body found near the Mont. We have the details. And hear how the Cherokee Nation is fighting for representation in the U.S. Congress. Plus, it'll get even colder before Bedlam. Hear what our weather team says you should expect for the game. This is OU Nightly. Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Parker Abels.
And I'm Olivia Dague. We begin tonight with breaking news. Norman police are investigating after someone found a man's body in a ditch this morning.
OU Nightly's Addie Crawford is live at the scene with the latest. Addie?
Yes, I'm at the intersection of Classen Boulevard and Boyd Street, where unfortunately a dead body was found this morning. I spoke to a witness who works in the area, and they said that the body was found at the bottom of this ditch over here where you can actually still see blood. Now, the details are limited, but here's what we know right now. The person was found by a person a little after 8 o'clock this morning. The person is a male but has not been identified. Norman PD says they hope to learn the cause and manner of death within the next couple of days by the state medical examiner's office. Now, I contacted Norman PD myself and asked some questions like, was the person injured? And they said that no further information is being released at this time. We will keep you updated with any information that we get as soon as we get it. Reporting from Classen Boulevard and Boyd Street, Addie Crawford, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Addie. And with incidents like that and recent deadly incidents near college campuses in Idaho and Virginia, OU students are thinking about their own safety. OU Nightly's Jayden Brannon breaks down what we need to know about crime near campus.
Following several violent incidents from across the country, OU students are beginning to question their own safety.
I feel like on a college campus there's a lot of questionable things going on.
I think I feel safe here, but just knowing that could happen is scary.
And many are looking to the OU Police Department about whether or not they're safe walking to class. The OU Clery Act Statistical Summary released information that 44 criminal acts occurred on campus in 2021 under OU PD jurisdiction.
According to the Crimson Quarterly, after this past September, only 27 of 40 allocated positions have been filled, leaving a 32.5% deficit of these filled positions, meaning that for roughly every 1,000 undergraduate students, there is only one campus police officer.
I think that sounds a little concerning, just that, the majority of the population doesn't have a good ratio for coverage of safety issues.
OU PD Chief Nathaniel Tarver told the OU Daily he feels confident in the department's ability to respond to an active shooter in partnership with the Norman Police Department and practices these drills regularly. On campus, Jayden Brannon, OU Nightly.
An annual security report is published by OU Police. You can find it on the OU website by searching crime statistics.
Tribes may have someone to represent them in Congress if the House of Representatives agrees to fulfill an old treaty with the Cherokee Nation. OU Nightly reporter Purpura listened in on a testimony to add a seat for a delegate from the tribe. Pepper, why is this happening?
Guys, this stems from the same treaty that moved the Cherokee Nation thousands of miles on the Trail of Tears into Oklahoma. When the tribe forfeited their homelands to the United States in the new ECHO Treaty, they did so on the condition that they could have their own delegate in the House of Representatives. 187 years later, that seat still doesn't exist. The Cherokee Nation is asking Congress to fulfill a treaty agreement that would add a seat in the House for their tribe.
But we are now, I think, in a position where we can, as a practical matter, assert this right, whereas my predecessors in the 2 centuries before, frankly, we were just trying to hang on to our way of life and rebuild.
The tribe agreed to migrate to Oklahoma on the condition that they would be given a seat in the House.
The majority of the treaty looks kind of like a basic land transaction. And then there's this one short provision, Article 7, just a couple of sentences that's stuck in there that provides for the potential for a delegate of the Cherokee Nation to be seated with the House and Congress.
The delegate seat is different from a state representative because delegates don't get to vote. Right now, there are 5 delegates in the House that represent U.S. territories.
We're not talking about anything different here than we already do in multiple cases.
But unlike those regions, the tribal nations exist inside of states and are included in their districts. People in those territories get to vote on representatives just like anyone else living in the state, leading the House to ask if this is double representation.
None of the territorial delegates represent citizens or residents who already have representation in the House.
Other tribes have already begun requesting their own seats as well, but the treaty making this possible was exclusive to the Cherokee tribe.
Cherokee Nation, and Cherokee Nation alone, is the tribe that is the party to the Treaty of New Echota and the Treaty of 1866. Cherokee Nation has, in fact, adhered to our obligations under these treaties. I'm here to ask the United States to do the same.
Today's discussion was purely that, a discussion. There has been no action taken or legislation introduced to create a seat for the Cherokee tribe yet, because that process also has to be interpreted. Live in studio, I'm Purpura, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Pepper. And former President Trump makes a big announcement and a new rocket heads into space. Zoe Watson has that and the rest of today's international and national headlines from the News Center.
Thanks, Olivia. Former President Donald Trump announces his third bid for the presidency. The twice impeached former president is aiming to be the only second-in-commander-in-chief ever elected to 2 non-consecutive terms. President Biden, who has yet to announce if he is seeking re-election, tweeted after the announcement, saying, quote, "Donald Trump has failed America." And the latest on that missile that struck outside of a village in Poland, killing 2 farmers. Poland and NATO say the strike was likely a stray missile from Ukrainian air defensive, not a Russian strike. U.S. military officials back the initial findings. Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky says the missile wasn't Ukrainian. Right now, specialists are on the scene in Poland investigating the missile strike. NASA launches its Artemis rocket following several delays. The historic mission is NASA's first unmanned spacecraft to take off from Earth. It launched from Kennedy Space Center in Florida at 12:47 a.m. this morning. Artemis 1 is heading for deep space, kicking off a 25.5-day journey around the moon. And for all the Subway lovers, including myself, the restaurant unveiled a new vending machine filled with pre-made sandwiches. Now you can eat fresh on the go. Olivia, Parker.
Thanks, Zoe. And we got some snow flurries earlier this week, but nothing really stuck.
Yeah, Colton, and it looks like it could be getting even colder. Is that true?
Yeah, it's not very often we can take a look from space here over Oklahoma and see snowfall in the month of November, but it's exactly what we're seeing here, right? You can see these kind of stationary pockets of white on our satellite view now. These don't move. That's actually snowfall from the recent event coming on early this week, but you can see that throughout the day today as sunshine has come down on this, you see the pockets are shrinking and shrinking, and eventually they will all melt away and they will all go away. Now, for the month of November in Oklahoma City, the average is about ½ an inch of snowfall here. That's our November average. And so far this month, we are getting very close. We're actually only about 0.05 of an inch away from matching that average and maybe even going over as the month is already halfway over. Okay, now we do have some more snow flurry chances coming on. I'm going to break down those details as well as a very strong cold front. And yes, that does affect your Bedlam forecast. It's all coming up in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Colton. And climate change is a big topic in the UN conference.
Yeah, we'll let you know what UN President-elect had to say after the break. And with the holidays coming up, you might want to consider giving a gift with 4 paws.
Hear how you can help a local shelter in need next on OU Nightly. The new Brazilian president stirred things up at this year's UN Climate Summit. Bailey Coyle has that story and more in Earth Report.
Thanks, Olivia. The United Nations Climate Change Conference is in its final days, and Brazilian President-elect made lots of commotion today. He started his speech by saying the nations are ignoring the planet's climate tragedy and instead spending trillions of dollars on war. He also mentioned that he wants to help protect the Amazon rainforest by cracking down on all crimes in the forest. And the Amazon rainforest is not the only trees needing help. Research is showing that climate change is taking down trees. Factors such as housing and commercial construction, compact soil, and pollution are contributing to this loss. Researchers are concerned canopy loss will outpace the rate of newly planted trees reaching maturity. And if you feel like there's been an increase in natural disasters, you are right. A report shows that 90% of the counties in the U.S. have been hit by a weather disaster in the last decade. Oklahoma, California, Mississippi, Iowa, and Tennessee have had at least 20 different disasters, including severe weather, wildfires, flooding, and landslides. And Parker and Olivia, lettuce is being added to the menu for Florida manatees as a part in an effort to slow down starvation deaths.
Thanks, Bailey. Well, dogs are considered by many to be man's best friend. Right now, our furry friends could use some help. OU Nightly's Romelo Woodfork spoke with the Norman Animal Welfare Center about how you can do just that.
Each kennel is filled with a dog that gets an hour outside, if any at all. They spend the rest of their 23 hours sitting and waiting. Norman Animal Welfare Center simply does not have the staff nor the space to provide the best care.
The staff can't keep up with the amount of animals that we have at the shelter currently.
During the pandemic, many people fostered or adopted dogs to keep them company, but that soon changed.
When they started going back to work, then all of a sudden they got their lives back and they didn't have time.
The shelter does not have the staff to handle their growing numbers, meaning
At some point, things are going to have to give. We can't make basic shelter standards. We aren't doing these animals any favors.
the shelter follows guidelines to ensure the best care, but many animals
Would qualify for euthanasia based on a lot of places' guidelines.
To avoid this, they encourage adoptions, fosterings, or to take a dog on a vacation.
At least get out and get some exercise and interaction. We're drowning in animals, literally.
I'm Romelo Woodfork, reporting OU Nightly.
If you want to lend a helping paw, head down to the Jenkins Center, or the center off Jenkins and Highway 9. And as you can tell, it's been getting a lot colder lately.
I know, I needed my jacket on the way into the studio, but Colton, am I going to need to start bringing gloves, hat, scarf?
Well, not so much for tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to see more of a day in terms of our seasonal average. Another strong cold front is on the way, and yes, it does impact your bedlam. I'm going to have all those details coming up in just a few minutes. All right, welcome back to OU Nightly. Thanks for joining us. I'm Colton Williams. Taking a look at our campus cam now, looking down the beautiful South Oval. Shadows getting longer as the days are getting shorter now, as here heading into the 5 o'clock hour. Sunset is just about 45 minutes away. Chilly Wednesday evening out there. Looking in the middle to upper 40s for most of us. Lots of sunshine still, a lot of blue sky out there. Winds are out of the southeast, but we are dry, left behind from our system just a couple of days ago. And temperatures across the state, middle to upper 40s, some lower 30s in the far northeast. A couple of 50s hanging on near the Red River. Overall, still a chilly afternoon here in this mid-November Wednesday here in Oklahoma. And right now looking at some wind gusts, gusty at times in the far east, but here in Oklahoma City only gusting 5 to 10 to 15. Okay, so overall looking at very low winds unless you're in far northern and northwestern Oklahoma. Okay, now right now going on. Here goes our polar jet going on. This is called northwesterly flow. This is what's giving us very sunny skies, very chilly temperatures. You see everything behind the polar jet, all that precip is all snow, very heavy snow expected up in the Great Lakes region going on the next couple of days. Here in Oklahoma, couldn't be much different, all right, or couldn't be very much different looking at a quiet pattern going on here throughout the next several days before then this time next week, okay, we're looking 6-7 days away now. Then comes another strong storm system. This pattern, we'll call it unsettled for now. Looking near your Thanksgiving, could be looking at widespread rain and storm chances. Whether or not that's snow or ice, we'll have to wait for more data to roll in on that one. But your Thanksgiving looking to be under an unsettled pattern versus what we're going to see over the next couple of days. Now this coming on this week, looking into this weekend, Friday night could have a couple of light flurries poke in here to central Oklahoma. In fact, some data is giving parts of western Oklahoma close to an inch of snow, maybe up to half an inch. I really expect only a few flurries and very little of it to even stick. But keep in mind, a Saturday, Sunday morning could wake up with a small glaze of snow on the ground. Okay, now overnight tonight, very much different. Looking at chilly overnight tonight, lots of clear skies. We will be below freezing, so it will be chilly. Okay, but then tomorrow, we're going to warm up tomorrow. A little bit warmer we were this time today. A couple clouds building in late tomorrow. Okay, but overall much warmer then. Going to have a cold front roll through overnight Thursday and into Friday morning, waking up in the upper 20s. Friday afternoon, be lucky to get out of the lower 30s, okay? And then, yeah, that cold front, again, does play into your Bedlam forecast here as we go into your tailgating time. In the 40s, will be below freezing by halftime, okay? Then into your fourth quarter, into the upper 20s. So going to be chilly. Again, flurries overnight possible into Friday. Bedlam is chilly. We'll be on a warming trend this time next week.
Thanks, Colton. Seems like it's just going to stay cold this weekend. The Thunder are continuing their tour of the East Coast tonight in the nation's capital.
Sydney Bush has more on the game in sports. Sydney, is SJ poised for another big night?
We'll see if he is, Parker. The Thunder are looking to break their opponent's 5-game win streak tonight. And staying on the court, OU men's hoops are on a roll. We'll tip you off next on OU Nightly. Hi, I'm Sydney Bush, and it's time for sports. It's been nothing but net for Oklahoma men's basketball, who are looking to keep up their winning ways this season. OU Nightly's Amaya Ward was courtside with all the details.
In order to get their second win of the season, the Oklahoma Sooners needed standout performances, and that's exactly what they got from Joe Bamasill, defeating UNC Wilmington 74-53. Head coach Porter Moser was also impressed with Bamasill's ability to stay confident after struggling in his first few games as a Sooner.
He's really improved his defense, and he's got a confidence about him. We're going to need his scoring. We're going to be a team that's going to need his scoring off the bench.
The George Washington transfer set the tone against the Seahawks as he hit his first 4 shots, making 12 in the first half, sending the Sooners in the locker room with a 16-point lead at halftime. Bamasill had a season high, finishing with 15 points, and after the first 2 games didn't go as planned for the guard, it left the question of what's changed between then and now.
Absolutely nothing.
Bamasill and the Sooners return to action Friday night, where they will host South Alabama starting at 7 p.m. Reporting from the LNC, Amaya Ward.
The Sooners are looking to get their third home win on against the 1-2 Jaguars. OU women's basketball dunked their 8th double-digit comeback of the Jenny Brunchick era Tuesday night in their 77-66 win over BYU. Nevaeh Tot fueled the Sooners to a victory with a career-high 18 points. Tonight, the Sooners are looking to knock off number 25 ranked Utah. Tip-off is at 8 p.m. in Salt Lake City. This weekend, OU welcomes in-state rival Oklahoma State for the 117th Bedlam game. The Sooners are coming off 2 straight losses and are currently 5-5, while the 7-3 Cowboys are looking to wrangle a Big 12 title appearance. Oklahoma starting QB Dylan Gabriel has not run out of steam yet.
I know things haven't gone our way, but every Monday you got to come and know that there's opportunity to, this Saturday, and it is coming to an end, so, putting all our energy forward into that.
Tipping off tonight at 7 p.m., the 6-8 OKC Thunder are looking to strike the 8-6 Washington Wizards. Oklahoma City has won 2 of their last 3 games, but on Monday suffered a close 126-122 loss against the Boston Celtics. Agnall is learning from the past and says he's ready for a rebound.
There are a lot of bright spots. I thought we really put it to them. We controlled the game on the road against a great team, which is a credit to our team, our guys, and then a lot we can learn about how they get back in the game. And I thought we lost a little bit of poise there.
Well, hopefully the Thunder can make Oklahoma proud. Parker, Olivia?
Yeah, Sydney, there are a lot of proud Oklahomans in the state today because, Parker, a little birdie told me it's someone's birthday.
Well, kinda. We'll tell you why everyone around here is celebrating on the other side of the break.
I'm Sarah Sullivan at the OU Nightly Update Desk. Today, the Senate made progress in the protection of same-sex and interracial marriages. All Democrats as well as 12 Republicans voted to advance on the legislations of these unions. A final vote could be made this month to preserve same-sex and interracial marriages in federal law. Olivia, Parker, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Sarah. Well, Parker, I don't know about you, but it sure smells sweet today.
I think that might be the waving wheat you smell because today is Oklahoma's 115th birthday. On this day in 1907, President Theodore Roosevelt signed a proclamation giving Oklahoma statehood, marking them as the 46th state in the Union.
And to celebrate Oklahoma's birthday, the two prominent universities in the state will head on to the football field this Saturday.
Colton, how's our Bedlam forecast looking, and how many layers am I going to need?
Yeah, we're looking at, 117th iteration of Bedlam over 115 years. Quite a storied rivalry. This one going to be one on the chillier side, okay? Tailgating in the lower 40s, but by kickoff, the sun goes down. We're quickly down into the 30s. By the fourth quarter, we're going to be up into the 20s. Several layers, Parker. That's what you're going to need.
Yeah, I can tell. Oh, man, I don't know if I'm ready for it, but
oh, it's going to be cold.
It's going to be a cold one, but thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Parker Abels.
And I'm Olivia Dague. Be sure to tune in tomorrow live at 4:30. Good night.